What's the biggest backfire you've seen from a boss trying to save face? I was tasked with building an online training module at work. The goal was simple: create a 30-minute course to help finance staff learn a new process. It had interactive pieces, quizzes, and a few sample scenarios to walk them through the steps. It wasn't meant to teach them from scratch. These were already trained professionals with finance degrees and experience with our internal systems. But just as I wrapped up the first draft, our new associate director stepped in. She was fresh in the role and had a reputation for advancing her career by throwing others under the bus. She didn't earn promotions through hard work or talent. It was always someone else's failure that made her look competent. People whispered about her methods, and the longer I worked with her, the more I believed them. When she reviewed my module, she ripped it to shreds. According to her, it was incomprehensible, lacked detail, and needed instructions for nearly every single click in the sample scenarios. She wanted me to explain things as basic as how to set up Outlook, how to create a signature, and even how to map network drives. Things every employee learns during the first 3 weeks of classroom training. Her background was in teaching, not finance, and she couldn't accept that the module wasn't built for her level of understanding. I pushed back, but she wouldn't budge. I had no choice but to take her 20 pages of feedback back to the subject matter experts. At first, they thought I was joking. Then I forwarded her email, and they realized I was serious. So for 2 long weeks, we rebuilt the entire module. What was supposed to be a streamlined, efficient training became a bloated mess. We wasted hours re-recording voice work, rewriting scripts, and adding irrelevant detours that had nothing to do with the task at hand. When it was finally complete, I sent it for her approval. And then, silence. A week passed. No response. Meanwhile, the finance director wanted to know why his module was almost a month overdue. I went to pull up her email as proof of what I'd been forced to do, but it was gone. And not just from my inbox. Every subject matter expert I worked with checked too. The emails had disappeared completely. That's when things got interesting. A friend in IT did some digging and found that someone had run a compliance delete across the server. It's a tool usually used to wipe out phishing spam or mass-sent junk mail. But this delete had specifically targeted a phrase she had used in her email chain. Every message containing it, across multiple accounts, had been erased. The evidence of her overreach was gone, or so she thought. My friend managed to recover them, and I immediately started building my own archive. I saved everything to a flash drive, every single email with her name on it, even unrelated ones. The subject matter experts did the same. We built an offline evidence locker, just in case. A week later, the finance director scheduled a meeting with both of us. He wanted to know why a half-hour module had turned into a 3-hour slog full of irrelevant nonsense. The associate director jumped in first, trying to blame me. She said she had only made a few suggestions, and I must have gone overboard. She even accused me of swapping versions after she approved them, which isn't even possible with our system. She kept talking over me, trying to bury me under her words, but the finance director muted her and gave me the floor. That was my moment. I shared my screen, plugged in my flash drive, and pulled up the deleted emails. One after another, I showed the exact chain where she demanded unnecessary changes and insisted I bloat the module. I didn't even have to editorialize. The words spoke for themselves. Her face drained of color. Without a word, she left the meeting and went offline. From there, things escalated quickly. The finance director asked me to send him everything, and I warned him the emails might not stay in the system. I explained the compliance delete and how it had been used to scrub her instructions. He launched an immediate investigation. Within days, the associate director and one of the IT managers both left to pursue new opportunities. The truth trickled out soon after. She and the IT manager had been having an affair. He had used his access to try to wipe the evidence clean, but instead of protecting her, it exposed both of them. Word spread across the company like wildfire. Within a month, both were facing divorces. The IT department was torn apart by a full audit, and her reputation was in ruins. As for me, I kept my job, a little wiser and a lot more careful. She had tried to make a grand entrance with an overblown training module, realized it was a disaster, and tried to erase the evidence by pinning it on me. Instead, she destroyed her career, her marriage, and her credibility all in one move. She tried to throw me under the bus, but ended up running herself over.